Coming to you live from Baldwin Wallace University. Welcome to our live streaming coverage of Yellow Jackets soccer. Tonight, it's a clash of the Yellow Jackets. Baldwin Wallace and Defiance meet in an early season non-conference contest. I'm Brendan Gulick alongside Tommy Maroon.
Yes.
This is a bit of an interesting happenstance for Defiance. Not only is it the second night of a back-to-back for them, but they played back-to-back days this past weekend as well. So this is their fourth game since Saturday. That's got to be difficult for the Yellow Jacket group from Defiance as they try to make sure they're at their peak physical condition. That's a lot of competitive soccer in a short amount of time. And Baldwin Wallace, who's had a great season and is coming off of a couple of nice wins, hoping to capitalize on that.
Yep. Yellow Jackets, Yellow Jackets. It's like that Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man meme.
We're off and rolling here in Berea. Baldwin Wallace is in the predominantly gold uniforms, and Defiance is wearing black and, or I should say the black tops and the gold shorts.
Right to Zoltan. Good save right there.
Let's give you the starting lineups first for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets, and we'll start with sophomore goalkeeper Zoltan Nagy, who's done a really nice job out of St. Edward High School so far this year. He's played in five of the team's, I should say in all five of the team's first 5 games, but he has not played every minute of every game. Matt Beck saw a little bit of time in between the pipes.
I'd like to point out how Zoltan has saved 21 shots this season and has only given up just 2 goals. That is mighty impressive.
That's a really solid save percentage of 91.3%, which would be terrific if he could keep up a mark like that throughout the course of the season. Yellow Jacket, rest of their starting lineup includes senior defender Trevor Ham, who is the team's right center back. The right back is Nick Young. Brandon Garibaldi, Owen Reyes, Dylan Keeling, Thomas Ridella, Ethan Corsi, Tommy Buser, Nick Surowitz, and Mike Kane round out the starting lineup. Looks like Kane is playing left center back, and Ridella is out wide on the left at the moment. On the other side for Defiance, their goalkeeper is a senior from Napoleon, Ohio, Ori Killam. Yellow Jackets on the move here. Michael Kane. BW takes an early shot.
Wide
this is
right.
just a little tall and a little to the right. Darian Brooks, Will Gelhausen, Jeremy Jimenez, Erdwin Quintana, Riley Hensley, Tyler Fritchley, Zach Klopfenstein, Chase Steiner, Jeremy Fuller, and Joshua Maurer. Starting lineup for Defiance College tonight. They're led by first-year head coach Josh Lubitsch. Reed Ayers in his 21st season leading Baldwin Wallace. So this is a BW team that Tommy has played really well so far at the beginning of the season, and that is a welcome sight because this team's been looking for reasons to stay positive after a couple years worth of somewhat frustrating results. They'd played okay, but didn't really fare in the OAC the way they wanted to. And now they feel like they've got the kind of team that certainly could compete against the best teams in the Ohio Athletic Conference, and they're off to a really good start.
Of course, they have not played a single OAC school yet, but I think it should be fun to see them match up against them. Of course, we'll see if they're going to be good enough to compete with them or not. And by the looks of what they've done at the beginning of the season, from what I've seen at least, they're doing a good job.
Baldwin Wallace won the opener against Worcester 2-1. And they had back-to-back shutouts defensively. The first time they won against Chatham 3-0. And they drew Geneva in a scoreless draw here last week. And in the couple games they've played on the road since then, they beat Allegheny 4-1 and Teal College, the Tomcats, 3-1. So the Yellow Jackets have outscored their opposition this year, 12-3 over the first 5 games. 4 wins, no losses, and a draw. Defiance on the other side, they finally got a win last night against the Bulldogs from Adrian College up in Michigan. And they're now 1-1-3 on the season. They lost at Mount Union, and they have drawn Heidelberg, Wilmington, and Waynesburg. BW maybe a chance here as Nick Young steps into one, and it's deflected. Kill him with a great stop. BW tries to keep it alive. Owen Reyes.
Nice block shot.
Couldn't quite penetrate the crease. And Defiance gets out of it.
And it looks like number 21, Tommy Buser, couldn't get there in time. But he'll throw it in nonetheless. So they've played a few Ohio Athletic Conference schools, and by they I mean Defiance, Heidelberg, Wilmington, Mount Union. This is their fourth OAC school they're facing off against this season. And by the looks of it, I think it's going to be their last. Yep.
Baldwin Wallace, his opponent tonight, Defiance, won a game yesterday 2-1, but it was a bit bizarre in the way they won the game. They were outshot 13-4, but they beat Adrian 2-1.
That is interesting.
Defiance only had one corner kick all game last night, but still managed to come away thanks to a goal in the 5th minute and another one in the 54th. Adrian finally scored in the 88th minute, but they were unable to tie the game up, and Defiance won its first contest of the season. Goals last night from Gelhausen, both times. Good chance for the Jackets. Kane knocked off the ball.
Away.
The referee blows the whistle, and Baldwin Wallace will have a free kick from a dangerous spot just outside the top of the box.
And speaking of Gelhausen, that means he's got 3 goals this season, which leads all the Yellow Jackets. It's a nice 2-hour, 17-minute drive from here to Defiance, so they can get home later on tonight, that's for sure.
Dylan Keeling and Nick Surowitz both standing over the ball here. It'll be Surowitz looking for the corner, and he puts it in. Bends it around the wall. Baldwin Wallace on the board in the 7th minute.
Nick Surowitz does it again. That's his 3rd goal of the season. He has just been so good all season long. The Hornet has 3 goals already and a shot percentage of, let's think, if he's had 9 shots and 10 total shots now, he's got a 30% shooting percentage. That, my friends, is pretty impressive.
Well done by Surowitz. Yellow Jackets capitalize on their first really good opportunity of the night. Dangerous set piece from the middle of the field, right at the top of the box. And Defiance pays a steep early price. So Baldwin Wallace will play out front.
Well, you know what they say, 3rd time's the charm, man. That was Baldwin Wallace's 3rd shot of the day, their 2nd one on goal, and it ends up going in the right side, right where Killam couldn't do a thing about it.
See how Defiance responds to the early adversity on the road here.
Of course, as you mentioned, Brendan, this is their 4th game in the last 6 days, which is not easy to do at all.
I mean, I don't care what sport you're playing. That's brutal.
Yeah, someone's
there must
down.
Have been, well, thankfully you got back up. There must be some scheduling quirk that we're not familiar with as to why Defiance has scheduled such a challenging stretch here. They do have a day off tomorrow, but then they play Worcester on Saturday. So in 8 days, they're playing 5 games. I mean, that's just
ridiculous.
Kind of hard to wrap your head around, to be honest with you. I'm not sure I've seen too many programs that have played that much soccer in that little time. It's pretty unusual. But they'll test their mettle for sure.
And then in October, it slows down a little bit. They have a game on the 1st, the 5th, the 8th, the 12th. Everything's all spaced out. 4 games in 12 days, 5 games in 15 days, 6 games in 19 days. really 8 in 26 days. So at least there's light at the end of the tunnel for Defiance.
I think I misidentified a player earlier. It's actually Tommy Buser that is playing left back for the Yellow Jackets. I'm used to seeing him in the midfield, but Buser is certainly among the most talented players on Reed Ayer's roster. A guy he really is excited to build this team around now in his sophomore season. Man, Buser is just so shifty. But he's a physical kid and he can run really well. I think occasionally they're going to look to press him forward. Good play there by Thomas Rodella. Surowitz right down the middle of the park. Jackets trying to get toward the corner.
Whoa. No call on that. I thought for sure there was going to be a foul maybe. It looked like he shoved him right there.
Good chase by BW.
Well, they got the ball nonetheless, so it won't matter. Each school with one foul today. Defiance still yet to put a shot on goal or have a shot today. And number 6 went down, Jeremy Jimenez. He collided with Nick on that.
So free kick for BW, this time from a slightly less intimidating spot, but still a place that Dylan Keeling could contemplate a service into the box or taking a shot. We'll see. It's played with some touch. Well defended.
And Defiance is going to get away with one right there.
Nicely done. Gelhausen with his eyes down the field. Ahead to Steiner. And look
nice
at Tommy
steal.
Buser.
And you made your point about Buser being very shifty and him being pretty fast out there, and just comes in the middle of nowhere and takes it away. It looks like it's going to be BW's ball. Number 30, Nick Young, throwing that into Zoltan. So each school now has 2 fouls today. We're still yet to see a corner kick today or an offsides call.
Ball over the top for Steiner. Traps it, cuts right,
and
takes
to
a
Zoltan.
Great shot. And he knocks it right to Zoltan Nagy. So the first good opportunity for Defiance, but Nagy had it measured.
That's his 22nd save of the season, which may not sound like a lot, but trust me, considering what he's gone up against all season long, that is plenty.
Wow, I gotta be honest, I'm a little surprised that our head referee swallowed his whistle on that. That was a rather clear push into the middle of the back and the top of the box. BW still a chance perhaps, and play gets stuck. I really thought the Jackets were going to have an argument there.
But so far things have been good for BW. They're still ahead 1-0. And by the way they've been playing, and this has been a recurring theme all season, not allowing their opponents get that many opportunities scoring-wise.
Steiner gets it right back. Boy, he's got room to take one. He just mishits it. Looks straight down at his right foot and is frustrated with the way that one connected. Instead, Buser plays up the far side. Long, good pass toward Kane. Mike Kane with a left-footed shot and a leaping effort. Ori Killam snags it out of the air.
That means Killam also has 22 saves this season. He's got a saving percentage heading into today at 75%.
BW has a throw-in on the far side. It is extremely comfortable outside this evening. Temperature this afternoon peaked right around 72 degrees, maybe 73. It's just a little bit cooler than that at the moment. And should be in the upper 60s throughout the night. A perfect night for soccer. This one,
way
good
too
opportunity,
high.
but not well struck. All right, Defiance choosing to play through the far side.
And the ball goes right to Killam. Killam has had a barrage of shots today, 6, and 3 of them on goal, but he saved 2 of them. So it could be much worse for the Defiance Yellow Jackets.
Darian Brooks and Erdwin Quintana been awfully busy on the right side of the defense so far. Good move by Buser. Curls one deep in the box. Basically switch sides of the pitch. Kane couldn't keep possession. BW trying to stay aggressive. Jackets got an early goal from Nick Surowitz. He scored on a direct kick in the 7th minute. They lead 1-0 here. We are a quarter hour complete.
Looked like Brandon Garibaldi took down number 22 Chase Steiner right there. And now Defiance gets the ball.
Quintana over the top. Nagy better be careful.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Well, he was awfully close to picking that ball up outside the top of the box. That was a risky maneuver, but it worked out okay.
High risk, high reward, I guess.
BW trying to maintain its shape. They've played a lot of balls over the top. They've also tried to play through Buser quite a bit up the left flank. Good anticipation from Garibaldi, but Defiance worked around it. Now Jimenez. Wearing the captain's band. Back over right side, Brooks. It's Brooks, Quintana, Hensley, and Klopfenstein across the back line for Defiance. Just kind of looking around.
I'd like to point out how many grad students that these Yellow Jackets have. Darian Brooks is a grad student. Jeremy Jimenez is one. Another one is Chase Steiner. They're the 3 that have been seemingly making the most noise out there for Defiance today. Oh, nice steal.
Well done
And
by
that's
BW.
in.
An unbelievable play
Wow.
by Mike Kane. Way to capitalize. In fact, the Jackets are so excited. Look at Zoltan Nagy, the goalkeeper for BW, has run all the way up the field.
Wow.
Oh, boy, that was
Perfect.
That was a terrific bit of high pressure. And Kane being in the right place at the right time, redirected it, frankly, just strongly enough. It was almost hit without enough pace. The defender couldn't keep it out of the net, and the Jackets score a second goal, this time in the 17th minute.
That means that Mike Kane has his second goal of the season. Not bad for the former Hudson Explorer. All right, so the Yellow Jackets off to a red-hot start, but Defiance not out of it yet. There's still plenty of soccer left to be played.
You know, I think there's something to be said for playing back-to-backs twice in a few days stretch.
Yeah, less than a week.
Even if you're physically okay and able to go out and give it a pretty good effort, the mental fatigue after a little while, I know it sounds silly, but I mean, it's a lot of competitive play to go full go like that. And it's not as though Defiance has played a ton of depth in these other games. They've essentially gone with this group of starters.
And they're not a bad team. They hung in it against Mount Union. They tied against Waynesburg, and of course, having won yesterday against Adrian.
Garibati went to challenge it.
Good steal by Nick Young.
Killam tries to clear it. Boy, BW has had possession in far more threatening areas more regularly.
7 shots for the Yellow Jackets compared to 2 from Defiance. I mean, that's been, once again, that's a recurring theme for BW all season long. They've been on relentless attack.
Steiner couldn't quite get it going. Buser. Great foot skills.
Wow. Looks like Dylan's going to pass that to Nick. Oh, look at this. Here's a wide open opportunity, but they went off sides.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was a great idea, but I thought that was a fairly easy decision. That said, hard not to really enjoy and appreciate the fairly direct nature that Baldwin Wallace is showing early in the season and certainly again early tonight.
I have a good feeling that this team has what it takes to make a deep run in the playoffs if they can make it. I mean, look at what they're doing. They're very they got smothering offense, and they never let the defense or the other team's offense get that many scoring opportunities. They've only surrendered 3 goals this season in 5 games.
It's true. They've played quite well, and I'm very sure that Reed Ayers has got high hopes for this team. They would love to write a different chapter toward the end of October than they have the last couple of years. The OAC is as good a soccer league as you're going to find in Division III.
Zoltan's going to kick that all the way back there, or out there.
BW playing up the left-hand side. I also quite like BW's pace and energy as Buser quickly tries to recover. Gelhausen back to Brooks. There are 4 Defiance Yellow Jackets waiting for an opportunity to check in. We've played 21 minutes. Baldwin Wallace 2, Defiance nothing.
Garibati tried to get that right there, but now here comes a good opportunity for BW. Perhaps.
Reyes, Keeling, and now Nick Young up the right wing. Young plays it off his foot to the middle of the field.
Looked like he got kicked in the face right there, Riley Hensley from Swanton, Ohio. But looks like he'll stay in.
So play resumes.
Now the Yellow Jackets with another chance. Of course, 1 offsides today for them.
Reyes from a long way out.
That had a lot of juice on it, but it just went right to Ori. 5th shot on goal today for BW. Only 8th shot today.
mistake there by Ethan Corsi, but he recovers well. Maurer turns to his left. BW defended it nicely. That's good teamwork.
So we're more than halfway through the first half by now, and it's still a 2-0 contest.
Jack Stojkovic and Caden
Who's that
Hurwitz are about to check on. Here they come.
Congo line out there as they got a few people.
Yeah, the other two are Cole Mortimer and Cameron Croyer. Pirowitz is going to play in the midfield on the left-hand side. That's the near side here as BW goes left to right here in the opening half. Surowitz ahead to Corsi in the corner.
Just keeps it in bounds.
Buser stepped into space.
Oh,
took a great
right
shot.
to him.
Ori Killam prepared for the moment.
Buser did a good job. He put in every stitch of that ball. But unfortunately, whoa, that went deep. But unfortunately, it went right to Ori. You know, it could be way worse for Ori. He's given up just 2 goals. And considering the attack that the Yellow Jackets of Baldwin Wallace have had all day, it could be a much worse game for him.
Brooks, Fritchley, Klopfenstein, and Maurer, the 4 that checked out. So all the substitutions for Defiance are coming either on defense or in the midfield. I don't believe they made any changes up front. You know what? I take that back. Cameron Croyer came on.
No foul.
In replace of Fritchley. So 3 of the 4 changes came in the back half. 20 minutes to play.
Out.
Baldwin Wallace getting ready to bring on a couple changes too.
Yep, number 9, Max Yakum. Looks like he's going to check in. I think Julian Kiris. Yes, Julian Kiris is going to be in.
Michael Tusick as well. They're waiting for their chance.
Tusick is was a Strongsville Mustang. He's nowadays a junior here at BW.
Reed Ayers has to be pleased with the way this game has started. His team playing with a 2-goal cushion from the 17th minute on.
That is pretty impressive, I must say. Getting off to a quick start, getting off to a hot start. We'll see if BW can keep it up as we have 19 minutes to go. Nice footwork right there by 20 Alex Jung. Or no, 21 Cameron Cryer. Excuse me, folks.
Hensley trying to stay calm here. At the moment, he and Quintana have actually flipped sides on the defense. Erdwin plays it wide. This is Cryer. That's
Sultan
a really
gets
good idea,
there.
but on one hop, Nagy is there.
I think he was trying to go for Gelhausen on that, but I think he had a little too much on that. Can Nick Young get there in time?
Sure can. Good little touch pass. Young comes back to Kane, who scored earlier. Played it into the middle. Deflection with a great shot. And by sheer good fortune, Killam was in the right place. He never saw it as it deflected off of his right arm. Totally screened by his own defender. And now Baldwin Wallace will bring on those 3 subs as they set up for their first corner kick.
First corner kick by either school today, which is kind of hard to believe. And it looks like either Dylan Killing or Julian Kiris will be doing the honors
Kane, Surowitz, and Garibaldi look like the ones that have all checked out. It will be Keeling curling one inside, headed straight in the air. And Rodella heads it across the end line for a goal kick.
I honestly don't know how you can curve it so well and perfectly like what Dylan Keeling tried to do right there. That cannot be the easiest thing in the world. 10 shots today for BW, 7 of them on goal. Goes to show you that smothering attack that I was talking about.
They're trying to add to it. Meantime, have to get back quickly.
Nice.
Buser steps
That was
into
Ethan
space.
Corsi. Nice footwork.
Controlling. Boy, Defiance having a tough time getting it out. Apparently did not hit a Defiance hand, although BW sure thought so.
They were looking for the call right there.
Well, through the opening 29 minutes of this match, Baldwin Wallace has unquestionably been the better side. Defiance trying to hang on and keep this from getting out of hand.
I mean, once again, to your point, Brendan, I think they might be gassed considering the fact that this is their 4th game in the last 6 days.
I don't necessarily see too many guys from Defiance that look like they're breathing too hard. Nobody's really bent over at the waist or hands on their head or their hips.
But still, it's psychologically.
They've got to have heavy legs. Either way, BW has taken the mental approach that they're going to just try to overpower Defiance, and so far it's working quite well. Defiance going to make 2 more changes here.
Young throws it into Zoltan.
Noah Paxton waits to check on.
You know, 2 categories in which Defiance leads BW in. They have 3 less fouls than BW, which is, of course, though that is less, that is something you don't want to be leading in. And leading Baldwin Wallace in saves 5-2. Over 30 minutes, soon to be 30 and a half minutes through this good old game. And it's still 2-0. Might be 3-0 out here.
Good explosive move by Reyes.
Corner kick.
And another corner coming.
I think Keeling's got it.
Corner kick for Baldwin Wallace.
Either Keeling or Curious.
Dylan Keeling into the middle of the box. It got through untouched. Now Reyes sets and shoots.
Right to him.
It's deflected on the way in with a bit of top spin. Defense thought it was going to recover quickly enough. Look at Buser.
Wow, Buser.
I mean, as a left back, that kid plays absolutely all over the park. Fantasy fun. Changes for both sides. Baldwin Wallace has brought on Abdullah Mohammed, well, in addition to a couple of other guys. Let's see. The Jackets are bringing on El Hajj Ba and Andrew Chase. Paxton and Blackburn for Defiance.
Blackburn is from Anthony Wayne High School, former general. They're also a D2R6 school. I know that considering the fact that the Highland Hornets took them down the playoffs not once in the last 5 years, but rather twice.
Ben McCauley also on for BW.
This is their first corner kick of the day. Over the net. Sultan didn't have to sweat out there. That looked like that was going to go out of bounds for a second.
Well, Defiance trying to regroup. Down by 2.
Still not over.
The last couple of minutes have gone a little bit more in their favor. A chance here.
Good
job from
takeaway by
Keeling.
Keeling.
Hadn't seen much from Jeremy Fuller prior to that. Good burst of speed. Stojkovic is kind of hanging out as the center striker. Got to try to get him the ball somehow.
Jimenez went flying out there. It looks like BW is going to get the ball at about midfield.
September 16th, they travel to Cedarville to compete in the All-Ohio Championships hosted by Cedarville University. The women's race is set to begin at 8:25, with the men's race slated to start at 9:10.
Killam surveying the field in front of him. Cryer
Nice
pressured
steal.
and turns it over. Ba plays back toward the middle. Yakum
Right to
is
him.
communicated.
BW's had quite a few opportunities since scoring that second goal, but haven't been able to make it 3-0 yet.
Like what we've seen in the couple minutes so far from Ben McCauley. Freshman has stepped in and done a nice job. Ah, sweet little move there. McCauley to his right, got held
fell
up,
down.
goes down, and the referee
Didn't call
keeps
it.
his whistle down.
I thought for sure that would be a call right there, and if so, that would be a huge opportunity for BW to continue to crack this thing wide open.
Good patience from BW. It's almost difficult to play with a 2-0 lead so early in a game because you got to be careful not to get complacent. Gosh, that is
Wow.
really good effort
By Ba.
from Al-Hajj Ba. Anyways, you got to find a way to keep that killer instinct.
Yeah, you can't get too cocky or overconfident with such a large lead at the beginning of the game because you never know. Defiance can quite easily hop back in it. There's
I
still
would argue more than cocky or overconfident. I would argue that it's almost easy to get too relaxed. You get perhaps a bit too lackadaisical, and you get sloppy at times. Not that the BW has done that tonight necessarily, but
no.
you got to be really cognizant of staying in your shape well and not give up good looks like that one.
Good job there by the defense.
Trevor Ham stuck with it. Yakum. The other side of the coin is it's nice to have a relatively stress-free endeavor. At the moment, a 2-0 lead, playing, frankly, as dominant as Baldwin Wallace has played so far. There's a freedom in being able to execute like that. Defiance having to work hard.
Whoa. That was
There.
Ben McCauley.
Defiance having to work hard to figure out ways to get back into this thing.
Of course, we'd like to point out how Saturday is probably one of the biggest games of the season. BW plays John Carroll in football. It's been exactly 10 years since the last time it happened.
It was actually, I think it was 10 years ago yesterday, or perhaps even 10 years ago today.
Really?
Believe it or not. More on that in a moment. Dylan Keeling takes his shot, and it's
great
saved.
save.
Great kick save from Killam. Well done, Ori Killam. Literally with his back against the wall. Pulls off a really important save.
And today is the 10-year anniversary of the last time, a 32-28 victory.
I was actually at that game across town. It was pretty darn exciting. Here's a corner kick for the Jackets. Opportunity for Mohammed. Back to the middle, McCauley. Good little footwork from Kieris. Chips it into the middle. Headed
Nice.
toward the corner and in. Kieris with a great service. And Max Yakum makes it 3-0 BW.
Max Yakum has just scored his third goal of the season. He and Nick Surowicz each have 3 goals now. That is very impressive. And Zoltan once again making that long run over there. And that is something you're going to take at the half. Coach Ayers has to be beyond happy considering how things have gone today.
Previous substitutions, number 36 for Defiance is Jacoby Saxby.
Jacoby Saxby
Wallace is Alex Gibson.
has come on for Defiance. Alex Gibson just before that last corner kick on for the Jackets. Surowitz, Kane, and now Yakum scoring in the 7th, 17th, and 40th minutes. The Jackets lead this 3-0. Out shooting Defiance in the first half, 15-3. Could they add another?
Oh.
Great play.
Wait,
Kill him. Jeez,
he's
he has
way
it.
out of the box.
Well, he had it taken off his foot or taken off his hand by his own defender.
Is that the football team over there, or?
I'm not sure. But I'm certain the Jackets are grateful for the support from the students that have come out.
They're chanting Z
that,
for Zoltan.
And that you mentioned that football game 10 years ago today.
Mm-hmm.
And that game, BW returned a kickoff for a touchdown, and they scored a really exciting 80-yard touchdown late in the game.
84 yards.
I believe it was Josiah Holt that scored, if memory serves me correctly.
I can check the history.
You got it handy?
Yep.
All right.
Yep, Josiah from Ryan O'Rourke.
Went flying up the left sideline. This is the last time BW beat John Carroll in football. Had a couple of awfully close calls in the decade since.
Including last year, of course.
I know we're getting a little off topic here, but I do think it's a little bit of a shame that that game is being played so early in the schedule. It's the rivalry game, and I understand that the schedule rotates around, but I just wish that that game would be held for
So like
rivalry week
Yeah.
later in the end of the season. And I feel the same way. Otterbein should play Capital the last game of the year. And John Carroll considers both BW and Mount Union to sort of be equal rivals. I suppose you could play either one of those two teams if you're a Blue Streak fan, but Heidelberg should play Ohio Northern late in the year. Marietta and Wilmington should play late in the year. I wish they would figure out a way to put the schedule together like that, but that's just my opinion.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, they always save the game for the last game of the season. They always save the Iron Bowl for the last game of the season. And Army-Navy, that's way too deep in the season.
Back on the field in front of us with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Baldwin Wallace leads 3-0. They have played quite well tonight over Defiance. Jackets take one away in the corner.
Steal. That'll be a corner kick, actually. The fourth one of the ball game for BW. And a good opportunity to extend the lead by even more.
BW makes another change. They've brought Mohammed off the field and replaced him with Jason Chavez. This one in toward the middle of the box and headed the wrong direction. Two minutes to go in the first half.
Correction, that was Michael Chusick.
Offside.
Chip for Tusick, but unfortunately, it's a step, less than a step, really, behind the back line.
So speaking of which, what is the Blue Streaks record this season? 1-0, I think.
In football?
Yeah.
I have not checked. I know they lost the first game to Washington and Jefferson.
Oh, they did?
But I don't know what they had done last week. I did not
Let me
look at that.
check. They are a good
BW's 1-1.
0-1.
So they were off last week?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, they did not play very well in the opener against Washington and Jefferson.
I'm just saying, if it took Michigan a decade to beat Ohio State, it can take a decade for BW to also beat John Carroll. I'm just a depressed Notre Dame fan, so I just watched that game as a neutral perspective.
Okay.
Still can't believe we lost to Marshall.
That was a tough one. Killam scoops it up, rolls it right back out immediately. 35 seconds left before halftime. Baldwin Wallace is convincingly right now the better team in this battle of the Yellow Jackets. BW is dominating the game. Dominating the game statistically. Out shooting Defiance 16-4. 10-3 advantage in shots on goal. Nagy's played well the couple of times that he had been threatened.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And there is the halftime buzzer.
Wow, great game so far for the Yellow Jackets. I mean, they already have 3 goals at the half. Just for comparison, they didn't even score against Geneva and only had 2 goals against Worcester. And against Chatham and Teal, they had 3 goals in the entire game. This is just an impressive showing today.
BW certainly playing well. Surowitz, Kane, and Yakum scoring the goals so far tonight for the Jackets. Surowitz and Yakum with their team leading now, 3rd goals respectively. We'll take a timeout for about 15 minutes while the teams convene for halftime, and we'll join you here shortly for start of the second half. You're watching Yellow Jacket Soccer, bwyellowjackets.com. right, we're ready to kick off the second half as Baldwin Wallace leads Defiance 3-0. The Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets beating up on the Defiance Yellow Jackets tonight. Along with Tommy Maroon, Brendan Gulick. Tommy, what'd you think about the first half?
Just an all-out attack by BW. 16 shots, 10 on goal. And it could be much worse. That's the scary part. This game could be an even bigger runaway than it is right now. I mean, Defiance still has a shot.
Well, it's never over till it's over. But if Defiance is going to win this game, I mean, they need to play basically as well as BW played in the first half, if not better, because the Yellow Jackets on the local side in Berea, this team was pretty dynamic for that entire 45 minutes. I mean, they maybe had 2 bad minutes. It was borderline unstoppable, and this guy was right in the thick of it. Tommy Buser, who is technically the left back, but he would find himself on the right side of the field a couple times. He found himself in the midfield. Played a couple of good services. Yellow Jackets want the ball on his foot.
Tommy Buser's like Lightning McQueen. I am speed.
Yeah, I like that.
You know that movie.
Of course.
Great movie. Of course, what Pixar movie is bad? I'd say the sequel.
Buser from a long way out. Shot was deflected by Erdwin Quintana. To the far side now. Defiance trying to thread the needle. Buser closes the gap. Misjudged, but Keeling stuck with it. Trying to make it difficult on Maurer. Misfires well wide right.
So, here come the Yellow Jackets going the other way. We're through 2 minutes of this. No, or 2 minutes of the second half. I was about to say 47 minutes through this entire contest. Still 3-0. So, good lead for the Yellow Jackets. But, once again, to your point, Brendan, it's not over till it's over.
Brooks plays it backwards. Killam felt a little pressure. BW should be pretty well rested. They played a lot of depth in opening 45 minutes. Their starters were only out there for about half the time. Good diving effort
by Killam. He's got 8 saves today, which is pretty impressive. And he's had 21 heading into today.
Throw in coming. Right away to Keeling. Ham helping out. Plays it back to Rodella.
The men's tennis team is back in action on Saturday, September 17th, when it travels to Pennsylvania for 3 non-conference matches against Washington and Jefferson College at 9 a.m., Franciscan University at 11:30, and Penn State Barron College at 4 o'clock.
Good work by the defense.
0-2 overall returns to the court on Saturday, September 17th, when it travels to Worcester for a non-conference match against the College of Worcester at 10 a.m.
Nice steal once again. That's Tommy Buser right there showcasing his speed.
Buser is.
I am speed.
Buser's not afraid to stick his nose in there.
You know what the best part of that movie is, right?
I'm sure you'll tell me.
I can't.
Why?
It's something that's a little too borderline.
Oh, well, okay. I'm glad you've used your judgment there. Tackle in the box. Oh, boy.
That's a penalty kick.
So an opportunity from the spot for Defiance. BW not particularly happy about that. So the shutout on the line here, as Defiance will give an opportunity to Josh Maurer.
We'll see if Maurer has what it takes.
Penalty kick for Defiance. This is number 24, Joshua Maurer.
Maurer's first PK of the year. And he scores.
There goes the shutout. A rare mistake by the Yellow Jackets today, committing a foul so deep in the territory. And now Defiance with perhaps a confidence booster that can get them right back in it.
Well, you'll take him any way you can get him. And the Defiance Yellow
Yes,
Jackets
sir.
are on the board.
That's just Zoltan's third goal surrendered today, or this season, excuse me.
Good play into the middle.
But
Like
right to kill him.
Kane was closing in fast.
Looks like the Yellow Jackets will get it. Temperature dropping off a little bit. At least it's cold up here in the broadcast booth, that's for sure.
So Baldwin Wallace gives up an early second half goal. But they don't really appear to be panicked. Try to get organized on offense, try to go earn one back. Good idea playing it long and across.
Who'd that go out on?
That was last touched by BW.
Okay.
Not really sure why Ori Killam didn't just play it deep in the first place. But he'll get a second crack at it.
Oh, look out.
Kane, little back heel touch, gets it right back. No room to pull the trigger. Just couldn't find a way to get through the D. Well done. Now the other way, Jimenez. Darian Brooks overruns it.
By now, I don't think your goal is to, well, score goals, but rather just to run out the clock and prevent any goals from scoring from Defiance. We'll see if the Jacks can hold them off for the next 38 minutes.
I'm not sure I necessarily agree with that. I understand why you
Really?
would say that, but I think if BW loses its aggressive mentality, they're going to allow Defiance to build confidence and get back into the game. Sure, you've got a 2-goal lead, and so you don't need to take any outrageous risks. The flag stays down. But I think you've got to try to play like you need to add to this. Last thing you want to do is get complacent.
Really? That's an interesting way to look at it, and that's for sure. There we go, Surwich.
It's back to Keeling in space. Shot deflected.
Oh, foul.
The Yellow Jackets, just as they did about 7 minutes into the start of the game, now have a free kick from the top of the box in a fairly dangerous spot here. Nick Surowitz has already curled one around the wall and in. He scored the first goal. Kane and Yakum have the other 2 Jacket tallies. Nick Surowitz, the senior from Medina Highland.
Great school. They play Barberton tomorrow at Sharkey. Of course, Barberton was the only school that beat us last year in the regular season.
Defense trying to get itself aligned. They certainly haven't forgotten what happened last time as Surowitz tries to bend another one around. Deflects off the outer edge of the wall. And so a corner kick coming for the Jackets.
And of course, speaking of which, for you, that's Ignatius Hoban tomorrow. That's a huge game.
Big game for sure. Very important game for both schools. Headed into the box. A chance for Kane. And he doesn't hit it well.
Wide left.
Change here for Defiance. They are bringing on Caden Pirowitz.
He's coming in for Steiner, isn't he?
I believe so.
8 fouls for BW compared to 5 for Defiance. And I think that's what, of course, Coach Ayers has really been showing all season long with this team, just the aggressiveness.
A great angle from Tommy Buser to anticipate where that pass was going. He stuffed it before it ever really took off. Tommy is an exceptionally talented young man.
Yes, I am. Just kidding, I'm not.
Of course you are. You
No,
just
I'm
caught me
not.
off guard. That was funny. That was pretty good.
Thanks, Brendan.
That's pretty good. Yellow Jackets look at Tommy Buser and think, gee, this is the kind of guy that we really think we could build a championship roster around. You know, BW with Danny Rupel currently on the bench as an assistant coach. Obviously, what Danny accomplished was quite remarkable, and I'm not sure there's too much of an argument at this point. You could probably definitively say that he's the best player in the history of this program.
Really?
Certainly his numbers would back that up, but it's crossed my mind that maybe there were times where, because he was such a weapon, that maybe BW tried to play through him too often. I mean, he could have played, he was an All-American, could have played for literally any school in the country. He was that good.
But he chose here.
Well, he did, but
which is great.
of course, he's a local guy.
Yeah.
Went to high school right over here at Berea Mid Park.
Really, he went to Mid Park.
And I just wonder that, you know, if you look at the makeup of this current BW roster, it seems like it's a little bit deeper than it was a couple years ago, and that perhaps it could be a better team because they've got a few more options and don't necessarily have to try and force it to one player in particular. And I say that with great respect for what Danny accomplished, because he was such a joy to watch. And gosh, when he was going good, there are not many guys at this level that performed better.
Really, he was that much of a weapon, that dangerous out there.
Unquestionably.
I mean, that is cool how you get to see those those former players return to their alma mater to coach. I know that from experience because one of the high school girls' assistant coaches, Coach Prophet, she was on that Highland Hornets team. She played college basketball at Valpo. So, yeah.
Tommy heads that out of bounds.
And then after her career was over, she came right back to Highland, became an assistant. That team's very loaded up. My little brother's in 8th grade. He'll be a sophomore by the time all the sophomores right now will be seniors. He doesn't pay attention to high school sports, but I told him he better pay attention to this team. Because they can make a run for states. I mean, they won districts for the first time in 30 years. That is mighty impressive, isn't it? Taking down Magnificat in the district finals. Of course, Magnificat never easy.
Almost a full hour in.
Oh, a foul.
Goes up on a bad tackle. Not malicious, but certainly a foul as Surwitz helps his counterpart up.
That's foul number 9 today for BW.
Great high press. Quintana looking up the far side, thinks maybe he can play that way. Only Defiance goal came on a penalty kick just a few minutes into the start of the second half. Yellow Jacket defense from Berea did not particularly agree with the call. And Defiance capitalized on it. Now they play through the right side, back toward Kane.
Oh, that was a nice effort.
Sure was. Danger not removed yet. Corsi was in the middle of the action. Trevor Ham steps forward. Keeling needs help.
Under 30 minutes to play. That means we've played over an hour today. Who's that out on? That's out on Defiance. 20 shots. Oh, ye gods. That's impressive.
The Baldwin Wallace football team 1-1 overall and 1-0 in the Ohio Athletic Conference.
Throw in for Defiance.
September 17th, when it travels to University Heights for an Ohio Athletic Conference game in the 34th battle.
Boy, dangerous pressure. Defiance lived to see another day.
Oh, Buser does it again.
Buser earns the call. He had his jersey tugged. He was originally worried the referee wasn't going to award the foul, but he did not blow his whistle at first because he wanted to give the play a chance to
Develop
itself out. And then once BW lost possession, it was clearly a free kick awarded. Keeling to the backside, headed across into a dangerous spot in the middle. A lot of traffic, and somehow Ori Killam
Good
manages
save.
to keep it out. Jackets 3, Defiance 1.
Uh-oh, looks like someone's down.
That's not great. No, thankfully,
That's
Kane
Mike Kane. He's got a goal today.
gets back up on his feet.
He's limping.
Turnover in a dangerous spot. The Yellow Jackets trying to recover.
And it went out on BW.
Sometimes the sideline's your best friend. So Defiance will try to flip sides of the field, play through Darian Brooks. Great pressure from Buser. He does it again.
Tommy's just been so good all day. Just a scrappy and gritty gameplay from him.
Unbelievable effort. Mike Kane now dispossessed. '64th minute. Baldwin Wallace leads 3-1. Good craftiness from Tyler Fritchley, but in avoiding Buser, he turns it over to Keeling.
There's Buser again with the ball. Seemingly been all over the place, as you keep on mentioning, Brendan. He's supposed to be on the left side, but as you've said multiple times in this broadcast, we've seen him all across the field today.
And I think there are probably some players that you would draw the ire of your coaches. The Jackets have a real chance here.
Corner kick.
If you play out of position that egregiously, I think most coaches would get upset with most players. But Tommy Buser seems to always be the guy that can make something happen on offense or can stop something from getting out of control on defense. And Reed Ayers doesn't want to coach that out of him. He's playing quite well. All the way through. Surowitz got a clean look off. I beg your pardon, that was Nick Young.
He's going to kick it all the way back to Zoltan if he can get there in time, which he does. Zoltan, a sophomore from St. Ed's. St. Ed's has a big game. They're going to Paul Brown Tiger Stadium tomorrow to play the Tigers.
Substitution here. Defiance is bringing Cameron Croyer back in. 3 Yellow Jacket changes, including Julian Kieris, Max Yakum, and did Tusik come in as well? He sure did. They were the first 3 subs to come on for BW. Roughly 25 minutes or so gone in the first half. Just a little earlier than that on the second half clock. We've got 24 minutes remaining in regulation. Baldwin Wallace leads Defiance 3-1. Jackets scoring in the 7th, 17th, and 40th minutes as Tusik got stuffed on the run.
I'd just like to point out that there aren't too many, or that while there are a lot of seniors on this team, there also happen to be a lot of sophomores and freshmen as well.
This is a very young roster.
Yes, sir.
The future of Baldwin Wallace soccer certainly appears bright. But this Yellow Jacket team knows that if they're going to make it toward the postseason, they've got to find a way to compete at a really high level in the OAC. And hopefully they'll go into conference play with a bunch of momentum. They are playing well again tonight. Buser plays a good ball ahead.
Haven't dropped a game yet.
Tusik with great pressure. Forces a bad clearance from Killam. And Baldwin Wallace takes possession deep in this end.
So it looks like conference play begins on October 1st against Marietta College right here. And I think there's also a volleyball game the same day.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right.
Also against Marietta College.
That happens quite regularly.
Same. I also recognize that Heidelberg is on October 19th. That's also the day of the volleyball game against Heidelberg, which is also right here. I know someone on the Heidelberg volleyball team. You get a lot of connections when you go to a school that, I don't mean to brag, but has some pretty decent sports.
22 minutes to go.
I assume you've had the same thing.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. 3-1 BW. Keeling leading the attack right down Main Street. Great find. And it was just a little out of Yakum's reach.
Yeah, Yakum does not look happy about it.
It's frustrating when you have those opportunities materialize like that. You can feel it. It's right there. Just can't quite come up with an equalizing second half of it.
It's worth noting that this is head coach Josh Lubich's first season at the helm.
He is obviously been
Tested.
he's probably been dealt a challenging hand, because as much as I would like to think that, for the most part, coaches set their own schedule, I would imagine that there's a reasonable chance that by the time Josh was brought on as the head coach, after serving as the assistant last year, not entirely sure if he created the schedule.
Oh, he was the assistant a year ago.
I just don't know that he necessarily would have tried to play 4 games in 6 days. That's just got to be a lot. Lubich is a pretty young guy. He got his undergraduate degree from Hiram College in 2018.
Really?
So he is basically 25 years old, but the head coach of the program.
You know what that means? He's probably going to be the head coach there for a while, lest he gets another offer, particularly from Hiram. So he probably knows these guys pretty well if he's a young coach. Under 20 minutes to go.
Maurer with a good corner kick. Clears everybody untouched. Buser will take his time coming over to throw it in. Sun is set on Northeast Ohio. We're approaching 8 o'clock in the evening.
7:47 p.m.
Lights are taking full effect at Tressel Field.
Whoa, he kicked that one all the way to Zoltan.
I mean,
that's unbelievable.
kill him on one hop. The entire length of the field, just smoked one down there.
And I had to back up Zoltan as well. That was a really great kick.
Baldwin Wallace has never trailed this evening. Trying to win for a 5th time in the first 6 games this season. Their one non-winning result was still a point. They drew Geneva in a scoreless game a week ago this evening.
And it was exactly 1 week ago.
Jackets with Waynesburg coming on Saturday. That's a road game. Saturday evening. We'll be back here on Tuesday next week to play the Hiram Terriers. Another chance perhaps. This one crossed. It's a beauty. This wasn't
Ethan
directionally
Corsi.
hit the right way from Corsi. If BW plays its cards right, there is a pretty good chance that they could go into OAC play, if not unbeaten, nearly unbeaten. From what I've seen so far this year from Waynesburg, Hiram, Earlham, and Bluffton, those are all teams that BW should be able to beat as Trevor Ham launches one onto the moon.
That's going up on the grass.
You don't want to put the cart before the horse. But I think Reed Ayers likes this team. He likes the way they're gelling early in the year. They play aggressive on both sides. They've gotten good goalkeeping. Got a chance to have a really good year.
So my question is, when was the last time that these Yellow Jackets won the OAC in men's soccer?
Well, unfortunately, it's been a little while.
Really?
It has been. Their best record in the OAC was back in 2009. They were 7-1-1 in conference play that year. I'm trying to double check, but I think that was the last year that they won the conference.
I can also check if that's fine.
1636 and counting. Now, you know what? They actually tied for second in the league that year. Great explosive speed running down the middle of the park from Owen Reyes.
By the looks of it, I don't think they ever have one. No. Wow.
Jackets made it all the way to the OAC semifinals in 2014. Finished tied for second that year. They were last in the NCAA tournament in 2011. The team finished with a really good mark of 16-6. They were third in the league that season, but made the NCAA tournament. But it's been tough sledding for the Jackets since then. From 2015 up until the start of this season, they have finished no better than 7th in conference play and have been 9th as many times as they've been 7th or 8th in the league.
And you know, Brendan, looking at the records out here, you're right about Danny and how he's had, or how he leads the school for most points in a season, most points in a career, most goals in a season, most goals in career, most assists in a career.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about an incredible career.
Oh, he was the real deal. But to try to give a little more context on the Yellow Jackets' frustrating finishes in OAC competition the last several seasons, it's not like the team was terrible. That's not a fair representation at all. For example, in 2019, they had an above 500 record. They were 11-9, but finished 4-5 in conference play. They had 7 wins in 2018. They finished 9th in the OAC that year. They've had a couple of frustrating seasons for sure. Last year they did not win a game in OAC play, but outside of the league, they were 6-4-1. So again, I mentioned it earlier, the OAC is a really, really tough conference.
Yes, it is.
Great programs. And the hope is that BW is building something here through the non-conference part of their schedule, trying to see if they can come up with something that could translate well into conference play. It's not for a lack of effort. It's not for a lack of desire. It's a tough game. A whistle that slows things up. Substitutions coming on. The clock is rolling with just over 13 minutes remaining in regulation. Reed Ayers is one of the truly well thought of coaches in this area. He's a good man.
Yep.
He's a good family man. He loves this program. He's dedicated more than 2 decades of his life to BW. And I know he is emotionally invested as much as he is with his time in trying to create a terrific winning program here. They want it so bad. Maybe this is the year with some of these young pieces showing early signs of promise. Buser with a nice cross, and they win a corner kick. Encouraging for sure to see the Jackets playing so well early in the season, having outscored their opponents 15-4, almost 6 full games in.
He's won more than 300 games as the winningest coach in program history.
Gieris from the corner. Here it comes. It's headed away for a moment. McCauley got to it. Now Ba, who checked back in. Working with Mohammed. Oh, great cross. And another corner kick coming. Quintana did all he could just to keep that from becoming a perfect service.
Under 12 minutes to go. We'll see if BW can get a goal. If they can get a goal in here, I think that this game can be done with.
Yeah, if they score a 4th goal, that would put a heck of a lot of pressure on Defiance. They play the corner to the top of the box this time. McCauley strikes it low and into the defense.
Looks like BW is going to throw it in here. Still 3-1. It's been a good game, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a reasonably good game. Defiance trying to create something. Certainly not giving up on things. Back out to Jimenez. And now a break the other way. Yakum got some reinforcements. Keeling with room to move. Lays it off for Kieris. Touches to his right. Played back wide, but the opportunity.
Ooh, nice effort.
Fizzles out.
Just to show that attack that BW's had all day. 22 shots compared to 6. 11 shots on goal compared to 4. And 11 fouls compared to 6. As it looks like the Defiance Yellow Jackets are making some substitutions out there.
Jeremy Fuller and Darian Brooks back into the game.
We are in the single digits for minutes left in this game as we have 9:53 to go.
Yeah, a good little step over move. Yakum and his teammates there not on the same page. A big chance here for McCauley. And on one hop, Ori Killam keeps it out.
Under 9 minutes to go. Defiance has to be panicking by now. At least you'd think they would be.
Jackets tried again. Just ran out of real estate. I don't know if they're necessarily panicking as much as they're trying to amp up the attack a little bit here. They've got to get possession of the ball back.
Whose ball is that? Looks like it's BW's.
Bah.
No
Tackle
foul.
at the top of the box. Thought it was clean. Good no call. Buser sidesteps. Had some awkward spin on it after a deflection. Became less threatening.
Went right to Ori, who has really had an incredible workout. That's, I think, the 24th shot, 13th on goal.
Steiner never really got much of a chance.
That's going a few rows up.
Second half has not produced many opportunities for Defiance. They've taken just 2 shots since halftime. Baldwin Wallace's attack has slowed down a bit, but still a comfortable lead at 3-1. Defiance's only goal has come on a penalty kick. Remember, this team was outshot last night, 13-4, and still managed to win 2-1. Too sick. That is certainly a foul, and I think we may get a booking. Yes, we will.
Clock has stopped.
Darian Brooks given a caution in the 84th minute. Yellow card issued for the first time tonight.
Free kick for the Yellow Jackets.
So we'll see if the Jackets can add one on here. Julian Kieris stands over it. And with the right foot, hits a great shot to the top left corner. What a save by Killam.
That was pretty impressive. That was actually really impressive. That is his 10th save of the day now, I think.
Incredible effort by Ori Killam.
Ori's had a barrage today, so considering the fact that he's only given up just 3 goals is pretty impressive. It's corner kick time with 6:10.
2 more new guys for BW. Michael Giganti and Shaheen Garamani have come on. Was one change for Defiance as well. Fortunately, can't see the young man's number at the moment.
I think it's
you know what? It is Jet
kicking.
Blackburn who has come on for Defiance. Here we go. Long corner. Headed out. Goal kick.
So if BW holds on, they go to 5-0-1 this season, 2-0-1 at home.
I did not see Andrew Chase, a third BW player, checked in for Max Yakum. So he checks out. Yakum, Kieris, and Buser all off the field here in these final 5 minutes. Jackets will throw in just a moment. Taking their time, milking the clock. Hard to blame them with a 3-1 lead. Not sure what Defiance is waiting for. Finally, they got the look they wanted, I suppose. A little miscommunication, still a chance. Garamani ran right into a defender.
He's down.
He appears to be a little banged up.
3:35 on the clock.
It's tough for Garamani. Shaheen has had some pretty bright moments throughout his career. But unfortunately has dealt with a few challenges, haven't we all?
Yep.
Glad he's okay. And so the clock will wind. Just about 3.5 minutes left here this evening. Baldwin Wallace has been impressive. Jackets are on their way to winning for a 5th time in the first 6 games of the year. No shutout tonight, but they did not allow a goal during the run of play. The goal came on a penalty kick. Meanwhile, Josh Maurer is not thrilled. He's getting a bit of a talking to there.
So, Brendan, my question is, who do you have as player of the game today?
Well, I know he didn't score, but I thought Tommy Buser was the most impressive player on the field. That said, Surowitz certainly played well. Thought Mike Kane and Nick Young played really well.
Yes, sir.
Trevor Ham hasn't gotten a whole lot of praise, but he's done a great job as the right center back. Dylan Keeling's been really involved. That's a nice play by Ben McCauley.
Just an all-around team effort, I guess.
It was a solid evening for Baldwin Wallace, top to bottom. Zoltan Nagy deserves a lot of credit. Keeling takes one away. Dylan plays it toward the corner with under 2 minutes to go.
Whoa. Collision right there. 110 seconds left in this contest. What is it, a goal kick? It looks like it.
Goal kick.
100 seconds.
Defiance looking up the left flank. Trying for one more chance. And Nagy will send it away.
70 seconds. Oh,
great
here's
ball.
One to put it out of
Couldn't
reach.
have played any better. Garamani tries to chip the keeper. No whistle. The referee says no foul.
1 minute remaining in tonight's game. 1 minute.
Baldwin Wallace 3, Defiance 1 in the final minute of the game. Things are getting a little bit chippy. But cooler heads prevail. Final 30 seconds as Baldwin Wallace polishes off what will be a 5th win, along with 1 draw in the first 6 games of the year. 16 points through 6 games. That's a heck of a start.
Yes, sir. Can't complain at all. 13 seconds.
On the flip side, a tough stretch for Defiance. They lose that one out of bounds.
But you know what? There's always time to recover. That's what I say. Game over. All right.
So the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets with a 3-1 victory. Again, they go to 5-0-1 on the season. Defiance falls to 1-2-3 through their first 6 games. Again, the Yellow Jackets will be on the road here this weekend. They've got a game coming up on Saturday. Team is going to play Waynesburg out in Pennsylvania, 6 o'clock Saturday night. Then they'll be back on their home turf here Tuesday and the following Saturday, hosting Hiram and Earlham. Those are 7 o'clock starts on Tuesday the 20th and Saturday the 24th here in Berea. Big thanks to our entire sports information department for their help tonight. For Tommy Maroon, I'm Brendan Gulick. Have a great rest of the night. Baldwin Wallace, a winner this evening. 3-1, the Yellow Jackets with a great win here at home. Have a great night, everybody.
Goodbye.